Well, hello there. This is a time I'm not normally here, so it's nice to see you. And I figured if I'm going to be stuck inside all day because it's only going to get to 20 degrees, and then that's just for a few hours, you can see I'm pretty well layered up. You might be too if you're also. A lot of us are in a cold zone right now. I've got my long johns on, a sweatshirt, my warmest sweater. And the house is actually the same temperature it always is. How come it feels so cold in here? I don't know, but anyway, it looks beautiful outside. So I figured I might as well do this. There's lots of light. It's a sunny day. I should go outside, but even the minute or two I was out there, I realized I don't want to be out here. And I think I'm going to do beach day. I was going to do this one anyway, eventually, but it feels good to think about the sun and the beach right now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's a super easy, fun card to do. We've got some really easy things to do right now. That kidding around has been great. So if you're interested in finding stuff to do with kids, I'm going to really strongly recommend Kidding Around. It's actually kiddin around, Kiddin apostrophe. Very cute and clever. All right, so I am going to put the camera down so we can get going. You might see, before I start, I have a wonderful friend who quilts the most beautiful things. And look at this Bible verse quilt she did for me. And Jeff, but you know, I'm the one that's going to appreciate. So I've caught it in my room. I'm sitting on it right now. I want to put it in a really good spot. And actually, I can see it all the time. It has one of my favorite verses of all time. He makes all things beautiful in his time. I love that. Now, there are other favorite ones too, but that just happens to be one of my favorites because it's part of the reason that I do believe that if you make the life beautiful for others, it becomes more beautiful for you. It does. Okay, I am going, whether you're a Christian or not, it does. I'm going to put the camera down and attempt to get it centered. Let me see if I can find things on my computer up here. This is a time, oh my goodness, what did I just do? I went to what it said was my home page, but that wasn't my home page. That was really interesting. I'm not sure what happened there. But anyway, I think I had a homepage I didn't know about. I see my face. It says live on there. Well. What do you know? I didn't know it did that. And there we go. If you didn't hear it once, you hear it the second time. Okay, I am going to put this up a little bit more, and it might be off a bit. My camera arm can only stretch so far, and I hate to tip it, but it's sort of like I have to if I want to keep this centered at all, and I kind of need to. All right, so you can't even see my stuff. I better move this down just a little bit. Hopefully you can see my website. So buy this stamp set with me, this Beach Day. This comes with dies. There's the QR code. I guess I still have to come down even more. The dies are really wonderful. I have them all kind of thrown in here because my magnet isn't really quite big enough, and I didn't want to cover up the images on the other side with another magnet sheet, so I just sort of have them thrown in here. Now, I have tried all of them, and they're all really good dies. You're going to see me cutting these because we are going to do them. I do have a surfboard done, but we're doing different colors, so I'll have to do him too. And then this is actually a nice sandy hill that I have cut out to see how I liked it, but it is nice, but it's probably not one I'll use. So I better turn it a little more. I'm like right on the edge of my desk. You've got, my website has changed just because I went to the free version. So it's actually Kathy Crow's Cards Wix. Kathy Crow's Cards. I don't know. It's a long one. I don't even know. This is my square. Oh, this is my square. No, this is the Square Store one. If you want to buy, gift card for Stampin' Up! For a friend or my classes or anything like that. And then my newsletter. And I do send out tutorials every month, or every week, excuse me. But you know what? I am not going to for this one because it's just too complicated. So I figured I will just show it to you instead. And let me get my cutting board out. It's sort of like lost in my drawer. Because first of all, we're going to start with the size card close that we're going to use. So this is 5.5 across because I've just cut one already in half. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it at 4 1/4. And that way I know I've got 1/4 inch on all 4 sides to cut off, because I'm going to want to cut that off. And I'm going to put that there. The first thing you're going to do is do the sky. Okay, let me show you the, actually I don't need to show you the sky because I already posted it like just before doing it, deciding, let's just go ahead and do it. So I'm getting Balmy Blue out, and we are going to very lightly sponge in the sky. Okay, now this is the new glass mat. You're going to really like it. This comes with this silicone little divider thing that I'm keeping you can do all kinds of things. It's actually technically to keep this on. I don't know that I need to do that. I like to put this like right here. So there you go. Horizontal card. So you start on your glass mat, of course, and I don't want it to be super dark, and I'm just going to do a little bit there, okay? Just a little bit. And I'm swirling because I want it to look like the sky. And then that's it. We're not going to do any more on that. Then we're going to do the water. Now, I'm not going to put this Balmy Blue completely away because, you know, I am going to be needing it again. And I've already got this cleaning cloth comes with it. It's already nice and damp and wet. And cleaning that off good. And then I'm going to dry it because, of course, I always drip water all over everything. I'm going to turn this. We're going to do water. And the water is going to be with Starry Sky. I don't know if I really want to dirty up a whole nother. I don't want to get my Balmy Blue in here particularly. Let me grab another. I bet you I've got one that's got blue. I always get ink all over these things. This is a very dark one now, so you got to be a little careful here. And I don't need a whole lot because what I'm going to do is stamp. Actually, I'm going to keep this out, but let's wipe this down and dry it. But I'm going to use this same Starry Sky to actually stamp the water. But I want you to see what I'm using to stamp the water with, because it's an old retired one. No, it's not that one. It's a new one. This is actually available. Cliffs by the Ocean. Now, I did do a card with this. The Cliffs by the Ocean, I bought that because it's going to be perfect background stamps for a whole lot of things. I'm going to move this up again now because I don't think you guys need that all the whole time. In this card, I just used the one stamp, but I did the little bee one that I did, and I just put it on Pinterest. I used both. I think I just used those. The other cards, I've used all of them. It's all really good, but it has an ocean line that's really easy to use. And I'm also using for this sun, you got to have the sun. This sun. This is a nice cheery sun. And in the card we're going to use those cloud dies, one of them also. The card today that I'm making, I'm not going to use the little sand castle. I might show you what I did with it, but I might not. I might not bother because it's pretty easy to make. This is a very straightforward, super easy card to make. And all we need is the water. I thought this was a photopolymer. It's not. It's a cling. Doesn't matter. It's going to be fine. Now, the only thing is, did I remember where I put my blocks? I've rearranged things again, and every time I do that, I never can find things. If you're having a hard time with positioning these clings, use the grid pattern. Whether you've got this glass one that I've got under this glass one, or paper. A lot of these have grid lines, which are very useful to lining up, especially the word stamps. Line up your clear block right on your grid pattern and figure out which line is going to be pretty close to the center of your block. Line this up. Okay, this is just for perfectionists. This is not that fussy, but especially if you've got words and they're cling, you can't see through it. It's nice to be able to do that. All right, so now we're just going to use that starry sky, and we're going to go straight across. Okay, right straight across here. And then we're going to layer it. Okay, this is a very forgiving stamp, so it's not that big a deal. Now I'm going to go lighter because it's coming in now to the beach, and I don't really want it to be as strong as it gets onto the beach. There, that was it. Doesn't that look good? I think you're going to really like this Cliffs by the Ocean. If you do any kind of scenic stuff, you're really going to want this one. So there you go, Cliffs by the Ocean. That's all I'm going to use of it today. But you can go to Pinterest and see all of my old card creations pretty much. I mean, I might have started Pinterest a little later, so, you know, there might not be some that are there, but mostly they are. I'm going to take my Balmy Blue, and we're going to just do some of the bottom with Balmy Blue. I should have put it away because I actually kind of want some lighter waves coming in. So let's put this back on here again. And I'm going to stamp this on the side just to, because I can. Okay, there we go. Now we've got some little bit of lighter color there. I don't know if you can see that, but I sure can. It looks good. And we'll wipe that away. Do you know how long this cold is going to last? It's supposed to last more than a week here, which is really unusual, I think, for here. We haven't lived here that long, so I really don't, I'm not a good judge. But I was a little surprised that it was going to be this long. Seems like, so at Christmas time last year is when this kind of really bitter cold hit. Yeah. I was hoping that was going to be a one-time off deal, but apparently it's not. All right, so now we're going to put that away, and I'm going to do the beach. So for the beach, that's why I have waterfront out. I'm going to use this long, skinny stamp. This is a wonderful stamp set. I know you can probably buy it somewhere on eBay or someplace like that because it is retired, but this is why you want to buy things, because if you keep them, you can keep using them. This is like one of my main scene builder stamp sets that I come back to a lot. This is Crumb Cake, and we're going to just stamp it full strength and second generation and third generation and fourth generation and so on. So what I'm doing when I say that is I've got it all inked up there, and I'm going to stamp it on, but then I'm going to keep going. Every time I stamp again without inking up in between, that's another generation. So this is, okay, I stamped it. I'm going to go off here. This is second generation, third generation, fourth generation. You can just keep going. This is actually a very forgiving stamp set, or stamp for the beach. Okay, I could have used a sponge and sponged it in, but I actually really like the way this looks. And because it's a photopolymer, I can really get it right where I want it. You can go right into the water. Of course, as the water comes up on the beach, you do see it right through that water, don't you? Oh, what's your favorite beach? That's what I put on this caption for the card that we're doing. Our favorite beach is Hermosa Beach. That's a new one for Jeff. He grew up in Orange County, so he's familiar with the beaches. I'm not. So, and I'm not as big a beach person as he is. He's a big beach person, but I do like them. It's not like I don't like it. It's just that I like mountains better. All right, so we're done with that. But they're also in this stamp set is this little speckled guy. This is also perfect for beaches and for any kind of ground thing. So there are those speckles in other ones, but I just happen to like these. And we want this to be full strength. And if you want it darker, then you would want to get a different darker ink in there. But that is perfect for me. I think that looks good. That looks like a beach. It could be a little lighter. I did make it a tiny bit darker than I normally do, but that's okay. I'm going to use my chamois on that one. You can clean it with all sorts of things. It's just water. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Oh, man, it's nice to hear my heater is off because the sun is actually trying to warm our house. It's brick, so that's helpful. Because my heater's been working pretty hard all night long. All right, so now that we have that done, I'm thinking I'd like to have maybe a bit more water on there. I don't know if I put the horizon up as high as I want. Just maybe a little bit more. Because I want it to show through my little beach window on my little beach house that I'm gonna, the Coast Guard, no, not Coast Guard, what is it? The lifeguard, that's it, the lifeguard station. Okay, now I see I'm not quite perfectly straight here, so I'm gonna line this up and then try to even it out just a little bit here. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay, perfect. Now that is high enough. I really needed it to just be a bit higher. I'm hoping that it'll be high enough to see the beach house. Okay, now you're going to get your little stamps out. We're going to put this aside, get another piece of cardstock out that's white. And we're going to stamp all of these things and color them. It won't take very long. I know a lot of you are afraid of buying stamps that you have to color a lot. This is one that's super simple to do. And you know what? The one color I think I forgot to get out. Do I need crumb cake on these? No, I don't. I don't know. We'll see as we go. I don't think we do. So this is a pretty big one, but it does fit on our, this is not the biggest block. This is the next size down. This is the one I use the most. And we're going to just use our Tuxedo Black Memento and go for it. Now, with a big stamp like this, sometimes I set it down and then ink it this way. You can do it however it's easiest for you, but sometimes that works better for me to make sure I get nice even coverage. And because I always tend to rock it when I'm trying not to even, that's why there's ink on the side there. All right, so we're gonna do that there. Now these are all gonna get cut out, of course, so it does not matter if I have splotches of ink someplace or if I have, you know, not a lot of room. How does this go on here? I kind of forget. I'm gonna have to fix it later. So I'm not exactly sure how it fit on this card. Now you can take your stamps off and actually stick them right on here, but I'm not doing that. Okay, we need the little beach ball. So we'll get you. And what else are we going to use? There's so many cute things. We need the chairs. There's one, which we are going to make with a little, I think little stripes on it. So we're going to do two of those. One make sure I have plenty of room to cut around it, because it does, when you cut with the dies, it does give you a little bit of a border. Why? Okay, community standards, I gotcha. And let's see, I guess we can do the little, the sandcastle, even though I don't know that I'm going to actually use it. Oh, I do want to do the surfboard. Okay, we're definitely going to do the surfboard. Now this one, I actually don't want to do it with black. I need this one to be done. I should probably do this. No, I will do it with black. It can be done with black. I'll figure it out. Okay, so the surfboard, and then we want to do the umbrella. And the umbrella, you want to make sure your stick that it is on is going down good. Sometimes these photopolymer ones, if there's one skinny little piece sticking down, it can curve a little bit. And what else is there? Oh, the birds, the little flying birds. Now there is grass in here, but I'm not doing that because this, of course, is not that kind of a scene. So there's the flying ones. There's one. Oh, seagulls. I'm not a big seagull fan. Where we came from, there were way too many seagulls. I don't know if they were technically seagulls or not. There's a standing one, but I'm not doing that one. I think that's it. The only other thing that I haven't done, of course, is the words. And this is some water and little shell and all. It's cute. Should we just test it and see how it looks? I haven't really used it too much. Let me get out my crumb cake. And we'll find a spot here where it might show up a little bit so you can see it. Okay, so there you go. It's cute. It gives you the same spots of my larger spots, you know, stamp did. So it gives you spots, and you can, it's just that it's a little small, so I didn't use it. All right, that's it. I'm going to put that away for now. Where's the plastic? It must be here. Stick you on there. Get our dies out of there. And put our ink away. Okay, I think we're all done with the ink. Now we're going to do a little bit of coloring. This is so easy to do. You're going to love this. So first of all, I am going to just use we're going to do dark red, and I'm going to outline it. Let's see if I can come down a little bit closer here. Okay, we're going to outline this with our dark red. I'm not going to get too technical with this coloring because this is pretty easy to do. Okay, that one, we're gonna go, I better do that one at the end. And we're gonna do the roof line. You can see I'm using the bullet tip. The harder you press on the paper, the more the ink will absorb into that cardstock. So you do have to be just a little bit careful that you're not, you know, you're not coming out, and it's not, if you press too hard and too long, it'll bleed right out. And so do a very light touch if it's starting to do that. Just don't press so hard. Okay, we'll do around the window. And this is the part where I kind of have to shut up and actually think about what I'm doing. If I keep yapping, I'll start making mistakes. And this is easy. I'm not doing any shadowing, no highlights. You don't need to. This is a nice standard thing. You know, before I do any more on that, I'm going to use our Mango Melodies. It's a retired color, but it's a nice bright yellow, and I need the little beach hut to be that. If I go too much red, it's going to start to smear in when I color it. So let's go ahead and do all my yellows. I should have started with the yellows first. Kind of forgot that that's what I'm doing. Really bright. You want it to be a nice bright thing. Although in the winter, I guess they always say that when the clouds comes, when it's going to get a little warmer. The reason it's so cold is because there's no cloud cover keeping in the warmth, and that's just counterintuitive to me, but it's the way it is. Okay, you can see through your tire that you've got some space. It doesn't necessarily quite match that door. We're going to do this and leave that. That's the railing. Okay, and then I think I'm going to do these little pier accents. We're going to do the chairs this color, and then I'm going to color stripes with the red so that it's going to match in here really nicely. Oh, I wonder what time it is. My clock's going to chime. I bet that's not even the accurate time. I don't even know what time it is because I'm all on my own here today, and Jeff's my timekeeper. All right, so that's it for the yellow. I don't think we need any more Mango Melody. I just used the dark one, did not even use that. I'm going to use our Wild Wheat for my surfboard. I'm going to just use the brush tip. Goes really fast, but you do have to be careful not to go out of the lines. It's super easy to. And this is the light Wild Wheat. Okay. I love this color. It's a really unique color. We'll just do the underside of our little roof with it. We'll use the dark one. Okay, it's not crumb cake, but it will work. Crumb cake would have been good too. Now we're going to use the red again. This is the dark one. And now I can go over my railings. If I leave a little white on it, I'm not going to worry about it. I do want to be careful around my wheel. I definitely don't want bleeding on my wheel. And red does, oh, I missed some yellow right there. I'm going to have to come back for that. It is so strange when it's cold. This morning, the first winter we had here in this house, last winter, was the first super cold winter. So I should say that, the first really cold winter we had here. We had no idea that the garage door could, you know, the little rubber gasket at the bottom of the door could freeze to the cement. Although I should have known, because one of my card friends said that she used to live, I think she said she used to live in Kansas City or near Kansas City. It is colder up there, colder and icier than here, but she said her tires froze to the street. The ice storms can be pretty bad here, so I'm not surprised. Okay, now for the umbrella, I'm going to finish this with the light real red. And this is the brush end. I'm going to do it with that because it's quicker. And we can do it that way because we're just kind of, I already outlined it, so I just need to blend this in a little bit. Okay. Like that. And I'm going to use the little bullet tip of this same one for our little beach ball. Now when you're coloring, especially when you're doing simple things like this and it's not flowers, just stick with your simple basic 1 or 2 at most colors. You'll be surprised how nice that looks. I'm using our Pacific Point. This is our little Stampin' Write marker. It is not an alcohol pen, but it has this nice point on the end. Now this is I don't know if this was a retired pen. I don't know if this is a retired color. I'm not sure if we still have Pacific Point. It's just a blue that I happen to really like. You know, they made the points a little fatter. And initially I was quite thrilled with that because it means that, for one thing, the ink doesn't run out as quickly as it used to on that end. But I don't have quite the fine writing capabilities either that I used to have and loved. Now I want the Stampin' Write red. I did not get that one out. That's Lovely Lipstick, not that one. Sorry, it's taking me a minute to search this out. That's Cherry Cobbler. I definitely don't want that. I want Real Red. Where are you? I know you're here somewhere. I've got 2 Cherry Cobblers. Well, what do you know? I might have to just make do with some other pen because I'm not seeing. There it is. Real Red. Perfect. Because I need the fine tip. Now this one, let's have a peek. Oh, that's the fat tip. I rarely use that. Here's the bullet tip. Now you see how fine that is? It's very, very good because with this, I can actually make some nice little stripes here on my little beach chairs. Now, it's not going to be perfect, you know. I mean, you might be really good at this. I'm not. But even if it's not perfect, it still looks pretty good. Okay, there we go. And then I'm also going to need to take my dark one, not the brush tip, but this bullet tip. I want to put some detail on this. So let's color just on the side there and here. Just going right by that black, right over my wild wheat. Just a little bit there, just to add some color to the surfboard, and now we're done. Now I'm going to put the camera way up. I'm not even going to color those seagulls. I guess I could do the sand castle. I'm going to just use our light crumb cake on that. I doubt that I'm even going to cut this out, so I don't think I'm going to have room in it. Dark crumb cake, kind of like for the little tower. And then I'm going to take my bullet tip and then just do some dots. And if it would look better if I did that with a Stampin' Write marker and it was a finer tip, you know, doing those little the little dot, dot, dot pattern that looks great for sand. Okay, let's cut these out. And by the time we get done cutting them out, if I can find, where did I put, oh, there it is. Yay. Oh, I lost my machine, but I did not. So we're going to sit that right there. It's going to take me a little while. Let's start with some of the smaller things first. Let's see if my magnet's going to catch things. I'll have to go piece by piece. As I can see right now, my magnet's going to not cooperate. Oh, you guys. Why are you so difficult here? Magnets are fun for kids because of the fact that they resist your movement. They have a life of their own. going to have to get out there and put some more seed in our bird feeders. They have been going like nuts out there on the seed. There's probably not much left now. We have some really giant big crows. They were big, but then I noticed they were like super puffed up. I don't know that they were actually as big as they had initially appeared to be, because they were like super, super puffed up. Here's the little sand castle. Isn't that cute? So cute. I don't know if I can do a chair. I might be able to do one of the deck chairs. Nope. The closer you get to another die, the more the magnet wants to act up. You can take your, now the magnetic sheet, the big magnetic cutting thing I've got under here, that is not a Stampin' Up! Item, and it does not come with your cutting machine. They give you one that is non-magnetic, and you can use tape. Like I might have to for this because it's just not cooperating here. And you can tape it down. The only thing is that I don't use that ever, just because my tape tends to tear this paper when I pull it up. Even washi tape, it's not supposed to do that. You can use a sticky note, and that usually will work better, but it doesn't always, and so I just never do it. Okay, now let's get the chair. All of these little pieces getting cut out, that's actually the time-consuming thing. But imagine trying to cut all of this out with fussy cutting. Okay, I'm going to have to turn this. I don't know why you're being more difficult than normal. The little legs need to fit right in there. Oh, this is so cute. I wonder if anybody's going to comment on my post about the beach, because if they do, they mostly will be Jeff's friends. They're the ones that are at the beach. Freddie, you might tell me what your favorite Florida beach is. I bet you have a few. Here in Missouri, that's where people go when they say they're going to the beach. Since Jeff and I have always lived on the West Coast, that was very different, because everyone was talking about a Pacific Coast beach, and oftentimes an Oregon one. Since we lived in Washington State, they went to the beach, you know, was Oregon, which was funny for Jeff, because when he came up from California, he was shocked at how cold that beach is. Now, you do get this really wonderful little shell that is nice, and you get a wheel. We're not going to do some of these things, but there are palm trees, the sun. You get a lot of really nice things there. If I took the time to cut everything out, you would be just dying right now with boredom. So I cannot do all of that. All right. Let's move you. It is tedious. Once in a while, they put in 2 of little tiny dies like that so that you can do. But I would have had to have stamped them on the other end. One on one side, one on the other side, because of my magnet issue. So I don't even care whether they give me 2 or not. There's the mailman. He's here a little earlier today, and it'll be interesting to see how he managed our mailbox today, because he's gotten better. I wonder if he's a new one. I never see who it actually is, and they're pretty hidden in their little USPS truck. But we have just a regular old mailbox out there. And has a red flag. Well, the red flag was ripped off when we came here. There's the circle for the little ball. And I think I'm going to cut this in half. I think this might simplify things a bit. You know, it was in the box, so I'm glad it wasn't gone. But the flag was torn off. And it's in a brick pillar. So it's not like I can just put the flag back on. I tried to. I mean, I kind of looked at it and it was not going to really work well, so I didn't try it. When we first moved here, our mail got wet in the mailbox because apparently there was enough of a leak in the bricks to be leaking into the actual box. Wow. There were just a whole lot of little tiny issue kind of repair things like that in this house. But you'll also get, we're going to just cut out the whole beach house in one piece, but you can cut the individual pieces out too, and oh, so cute. I'll have to do that sometime, but that's not going to happen today. Maybe another day. Okay, there's your little umbrella. Now this little umbrella can be used in a lot of ways. We've got another one, another stamp set called Flower Cart. Does Flower Cart have an umbrella? I'm kind of thinking it might. But if it didn't, this would go well with it. There are a lot of other beach sets that we've had, and this little umbrella could be used on that. So we're going to just cut this piece out in one large cut, which is really nice. There's a separate one to cut out the flag if I wanted to do it that way, but I don't, obviously. Okay, this is so cute. You could make this, do the little beach, the little lifeguard beach hut for any kind of a beachy gift. Beachy. I'm not swearing or anything. Oh, come on, magnet. There you go. Let's see if it got on there correctly. All right, now after we get this cut out, I want to show you how I did the sentiment, because I wanted to use the clouds and use our Brighter Days sentiment. So let's see if I can do it. I need Bright Skies is what it is. Let me just set this aside for a moment. I'm going to use the Brighter Skies are on the way. And we're going to just grab another piece of, I'm going to use a scrap of white. I've got my clouds cut out. It has these wonderful dotted cutouts, and I'm using these for sponging skies. But we have these cut out fluffy clouds. This one also does. This one does. But this one has a flat bottom. This one doesn't have a flat bottom. I actually need the one without the flat bottom because I kind of need a large space, but this cloud's way too big. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is I'm going to stamp my sentiment so you know what I'm talking about. Come on. And we're going to do that in real red, of course. Oh, I must have not even got it out. Okay, so we're going to do this like right there. It would be really nice to have done that in 2 colors. Do my Mango Melody up there, and then the red down below. That would have been really nice. And easy to do because it's a photopolymer. Super easy to do that double color stuff. Here's this set now. It's really nice. The sun gets cut out. You've got a little scallop edged thing going. Raindrops. The stitchery on the clouds and the sun. There's a little sun that's stitched. I love it. Really nice. I'm not so fond of the cloud stamps, but that's because I generally just don't do that kind of a card. But if you like abstract stuff, you will love that too. All right, so now what I'm going to do is position my cloud. This is going to be the top. I'm going to need to do it like this. because I don't want to cut the center at all. I want to cut just a little bit. Okay, we're going to go little bit by little bit here. And if it doesn't work, I will have to stamp. I'll have to cut it and then stamp it, which is how I did it before, but I thought I could maybe cheat and do it this way. Okay, so we got that much. And then I'm going to turn it like this, and we're going to go, I don't know if that'll be big enough, but it might be. Give it a go, like this. Oops, oops, I slid it. I can't slide it. As long as I can't see any of that red, it'll be on there. So all you need to do is make sure you don't cut down into the smaller part of this cloud. Okay, so now that I've done that, you could just cut two clouds and put them together and stamp, but I actually really wanted to do this. So I'm going to use the bottom, and we are going to kind of line it up there and then just do that bottom. We do have a cloud punch, and that probably would have worked good. I just really like the stitchery. So I just barely pulled it in till I could feel it, so I really just needed that edge. You can see some of the cloud coming up, but it did not cut it. Isn't that cute? All right, now I do want the big puffy part here. So we're gonna go like so. Got to be careful not to go too far. Let's see if I got it good. Ooh, that's nice. Now I can use my scissors to kind of finish that off in a good way. That's going to be really cute. And then you have your little stamped cloud, stitched cloud. Cute. All right, so I want that little bit right there. And I definitely want this little bit right there. And now we can just assemble it all and we will be finished. Because this is going to go right in our sky. So I can put that on first because I don't want it to be covered up at all. So grab your dimensionals. Isn't this fun and cute? You know, before I even put these things on, I'm going to put it on the background that it needs to go on. So we're going to put it on real red, and I also need to trim this a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to trim, let's put this on here, see how much we can trim off. Looks like I can trim some on the bottom, probably none on the top. So let's trim a quarter. I think I'm going to do almost a quarter there. And then I'm going to finish it out on the top because I got that pretty dark spot I sort of want out. So I'm going to put it on the 4-inch mark. And then we're going to trim off that tiny, tiny bit of sky. And then this is the side I think I like least. So we're going to go ahead and cut this at 5 1/4. I'm going to edge it out a little, give us a little bit more than that. And then this is it's already 5 1/2, so I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4. That doesn't look 5 1/2, is it? No, it wasn't. We need to cut off just a bit here. All right, and then that gives me a nice border. Oh, that is so cute. We'll just glue it on. And we're getting almost done. So see how fast you can do a really fun card with all kinds of elements. You can sponge, do a little coloring, do a little stamping, do a little cutting out. The assembly part is super fun and easy. So if you are doing classes for people, or if, again, you're just prepping cards for your kids to do with them, this is not too hard to get it all set up and ready for them. And then they can put the stickers on and put the objects on however they want to. Got our dimensionals. And so I'm going to just stick that cloud on first. Oh, Jeff and I found on Christmas, we found a great Chinese place to eat at. That's just like a fast hole in the wall almost kind of deal. I loved it. It was really good. And they had their fortune cookies just like out in a bowl for you to grab on your way out. Like, I know we've been to some places that did that before, but you know, it's tempting when you have little kids for them to grab way more than they should. So it always surprises me when places do that. I think I'll just snip this. I'm right at the end of a package of dimensionals. So I'm trying to use them up. Here, let's do this. Then I can see what I'm doing, because I don't want to go into the red at all. Like that. And like that. I'm going to put you right here. I just need a little bit. I don't need a whole lot on the leg. Are you going to stick though? There we go. Kinda, sorta. Kinda need a little bit more there. Let's cut a little snippet on the edge. So, you want to hear our fortunes? I saved them because it said second fortune. If you thought it was so good you want a second one, you can go to secondfortune.com. Seriously, secondfortune.com. Have you ever heard of this? I love it. You can make a new start this week. Work hard and be diligent. Isn't that a good fortune? It's like, oh, that is no fortune. When my kids used to get those, it's like, that is no fortune. Come on. So that's why you want a second fortune, because the first one was pretty lame. The other one, I think I got that one, which I thought was pretty appropriate because it came out, we were there on Christmas Day. It came out just after I had received all of these stamp sets for the new catalog. And it's like, whoa, perfect timing because, yeah, I can do that easy. I'm going to be working really hard here. All right, you want this all the way over as far as possible. Put the little, I want to see the water through my window a little bit. We're going to get the little flag kind of off the edge a bit. Right there. And then the little beach ball can fit. Let's get my little, these are our mini dimensionals, and I happen to have a lot of black ones. Now my beach ball looks like my die slipped a little. So I'm actually going to trim it a little closer there, just because we're right at the corner anyhow. I want that right there. And then our little surfboard is going to float like right. I need to double these up. So instead of just one, we're going to put two on here because I want them to stand. I want it to float. I don't necessarily want it to be flat up against my little lifeguard house. I'm going to stick you kind of floating there. And the umbrella. Definitely need something there for that. Let's trim a little skinny bit. Michelle, I am so glad to see you. How are you? I thought maybe doing it on a Saturday, I might see some people that normally cannot join me. I bet it's cold where you are. It's cold everywhere. Even our daughter in Hermosa, not Hermosa, Gardena, which is pretty close to our favorite beach, Hermosa. You know, I looked at the temperature this morning when I woke up and saw that it was, I think when I woke up this morning, it said it was, I'm wanting to say like 7 degrees. It was super cold. And I think even Gardena was like 45 degrees. I was shocked it was that cold. Okay, now you want to put your little beach chairs here. You could just do one if you're feeling a little crowded. But I'm going to put 2. And then that's why I'm not using the sandcastle. This card is too small for that. For the sandcastle and the cliffs and everything, you need the bigger card. So this one is 4.5 by 6. And then you can fit everything in there. So that's why I knew we were not going to get to use that. But you can get the beach chairs in and the little birds. Yes, it is freezing. Uh-oh. Oh no. Okay. You know what? I hope they didn't have any problems with their pipes. You know, I gotta ask our neighbors because I thought our pipes were we've always, when it's gotten cold here like this, I have always run the water just to be sure. Like when we went on vacation, the first year we were in this house, we actually went to California in January, I think, and it did the same thing. It was, you know, super cold while we were gone, and I was so glad I left the water running. Just a little drop, you know. But I don't know that I really need to do that here. Our neighbors that have a house just not as big as ours, so it's a ranch. And they don't do it, I don't think. But I'm terrified because do you remember, Michelle, that house that was a prefab, not a prefab, it was one of the newer ones, but not like new. I mean, not a Bauer Day, and it was up on, I'm not Lee, but it went that direction. It wasn't Lee. I'm trying to think what street it was. Maybe Simon, something like that. I'm thinking maybe, what's the street that runs along Safeway? Because I think it was that street. And anyhow, that house was empty for a while. While it was empty, there was a freeze. It burst the pipes. I think a teacher owned it or something, and there was a divorce. I don't remember. But so nobody, I don't think, was in town when it happened. It ran in that house. That water ran because it was empty for, I think, a few weeks, like 3 weeks or something. The whole place, of course, was trashed. They had to practically gut the house and rebuild it up. And those houses, as you know, are not actually, you know, oops, I'm adding you. I don't know that you're my friend request. That it just came up, and so if you get a Kathy Crow's card request for friend, that I just clicked it. That really is me. We get so many of these friend requests that I think you're already our friend, so I don't think this is legitimate. But I don't even know. Sometimes I found out that they were, and so I don't know. I don't get it, but. McMurray, that's it. Yeah, and you got to run your water in those houses there. The walls are really thin, and they put the pipes right through the walls. So in this house, I don't think they are, but today, because I had there's this, down in the basement, there's this, right down the center of the house, in the width of the house, and down the center, is a lower bit of the ceiling, like in the family room, and it's lowered by, I'm going to say at least 6, maybe 8 inches, probably not quite as much as 8 inches. Isn't that cute? Don't you love that? Brighter skies are on the way. And so anyhow, I thought the pipes maybe ran through there because because of that lower drop ceiling. I can see there's duct work that goes through there, but it's open under the stairs. That room is only partially finished, so I was able to get up on a ladder and look kind of in there. Now I couldn't see all the way through it, so it's possible there are pipes in there, but I didn't see them. So I'm thinking, where are the water pipes? Because they've got to go from one side of the house to the other. I don't think they're in the walls, but I'm a little afraid that they are. And the last winter when we had that really cold temperature like we are getting this time, our living room, big double pane, it's a 2-window deal that, sash lifts up and all, and there's 2 windows in one big unit, so it was quite expensive to replace. One of the windows broke. The inner one did. The outer one didn't, thankfully, but the inner one did because of the cold. And when they replaced it, they said, sometimes they just throw these houses up, and they had not insulated the wall around the window, and so that's why it did that. So I'm thinking, I don't know how well this house has been built. And so I just run the water just to be on the safe side. We're going to have water dripping in here for the next 5 days, I think, because it's set to be a long time. Are you guys going to get any warmer anytime soon? I certainly hope so. I have to get this closer so I can see you. See what you say. All right. I will read the rest of your comments afterwards because I won't be able to take forever. But I thought you guys would like to see how quick and easy this card is to do. It's a very fun one. That Brighter Skies, this Bright Skies one reminds me of the things that you like, Michelle. It would go really well with the rainbow set that we had, like, I don't know, 2 years ago. I think just 2 years ago. I was so excited to see the stitched clouds. That's really why I bought this set. But then after I bought it, the raindrop dies are really good too. So anyhow, I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. And the sentiments are really what got me. You brighten my cloudy days. I've used that a couple of times. We have a lot of those cloudy days here, so that's good. Sprinkled with love. That's a good one for Valentine's Day coming up. All right. Oh, you do? Windows cracking around town. So what's the low? What is the lowest low you're expecting? Because at first they predicted that our lowest low could be like -10, which is not. I know the agriculture business rezoned all of us like half of a zone warmer than we ever were before, just because of global warming political nonsense. And as a plant planter and lover, I knew that we were not a zone 7 in any part of Richland, and they had technically said that we were 6Bs. That's what we are here in this part of Missouri also, is a 6B. And so I kind of suspected we actually are a 6A a lot of the time, and that proves it, because the barrier is 10, is in 10-degree increments. So if your lowest low is 0, then you are a zone 7. If your lowest low is -10, you are a zone 6, and then that's how they split that. And they used to never say you were in a zone that would ever get colder than you could possibly really get, because your plants die that year. They die. So anyway, it's funny. I think we're a zone 6, even though it's a zone 6B, and that's what we were in Richland too. So there you go. 8 degrees. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so the wind chill. I think the wind chill this morning when I woke up, I think it actually said 7 or 8 degrees out there. And then the wind chill said that it was 3 degrees with that, if you count the feels like. It's 20 out there now. Whoa. The sun is shining, but this is the warm day until Thursday. We're going to get really cold weather until Thursday. we'll be lucky if we get into the double digits. They are supposed to be hovering, you know, like right around between 10 and 12 degrees for the next few days. So got my long johns, my sweatshirt, my sweater, and we are also, oh, Portland, dang, because Jeff is actually in Portland right now. So anyway, hopefully he is getting around okay in the snow, and I am praying for him all the time, of course, so you can too. Yes, they aren't, well, some of them aren't, but you know, down there in Portland, it gets, when they do get snow, it's like super ice, you know, super icy. So if they've lived there long enough, they should know how to get around, but you're right, they're not used to it, and that makes it harder because people think they can go faster than they can. And anyway, thankfully, a lot of us now are kind of like homebodies after the COVID thing. So we're like, I'm not going anywhere. I'll just stay home. If I have to have something delivered to me, I will. Isn't that bad? I'm so spoiled. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my friend and I, Michelle, chatter. And Michelle, it was nice to see you. Thank you so much. You have a great day. Stay warm and cozy. Keep those water pipes open. It's one of the worst things when they're not. Hey, Trudy, nice to see you too. Love you guys. Take care, and I will see you next week. Bye.